Right, hello and welcome back to a very unique sort of video today. It's sort of random, but we thought we'd do it while we're while we live in the local area.
Yes.
We are walking the abandoned St Helens to Runcorn Gap Railway, and obviously we're going to start here with shots and stuff because basically it's all overgrown, but you will see that in a second when Jack edits all of the
Indeed.
stuff in.
Yeah.
Basically, welcome to probably the cleanest bit of track you're going to see.
Yeah, this is honestly probably the nicest bit, and the only reason why that is because we're over a road. I presume you can probably hear it. This is a bridge, hence there's no dirt under it, meaning that trees can't really grow or anything.
Basically, it sort of curves down to St Helens Central Station.
Yeah.
Which is where it joins on, but there's lots of other bits around there. So
this is where we're going to start, and we'll keep on sort of, you know, showing our
sort of walking when we get to each station point, except from the ones in Widnes, because they're sort of not there.
Yeah.
But when we get to each point where the stations were, so we'll give you history along the way.
Yeah.
Basically, this is sort of a very important line because it sort of replaced the Sankey Canal in terms of getting coal to and from.
Exactly, because if you want to work, St Helens is very well known for its coal.
Yes.
And so getting coal to the Mersey and to Liverpool and across the world was very necessary, including Pilkingtons, glass and all things like that that are around here that would have used this line. It's very important, and so yeah, we're going to start here at the start, and we will show you all the different points and the beauty points along the way, and
onwards.
Okay guys, so just further down the line here, there's actually one of these. So as you can, the bird's nested in it. However, what it actually is an emergency telephone box for the side of the line. So as you can see there, it's literally just kind of sat there on the side of the line. Emergency telephone, NEI DAC. So it's there. I presume that's the provider. Don't know who that is. You don't kick about anymore, I don't think. And I presume the wiring might still be in it. Obviously the telephone is being vandalised or whatever. Again, this is open to the public, despite obviously not looking it, but it can be highly vandalised. So basically we actually took this path here that goes over this bridge. However, it's not the best for your legs or whatever. So now
come here. I basically think that in the early life of this line there'll have been two. So this is a bridge, this is not a road obviously. Now I reckon this was a line, so it would have been double tracked, and it's come along here and joined with...
I think it's a potential siding, I'll be honest with you, because it doesn't actually go anywhere once it reaches the linkway. However, the linkway could have been fitted, so...
We don't know that though.
Yeah, it could have been demolished for the linkway.
We don't know. Curved. Do you know where B&Q is?
Yeah.
That's the railway there, and that's like where Pilkington is.
That's
so
true.
This could have been the feed to Pilkington, which has now obviously been demolished over the last...
Yeah, that is true actually,
so, basically, this will have been, in the early stages of this line, will have been a connection, probably Pilkington's glass, and then onto the main line.
So if you're wondering what this is here, as you can see, this is actually the Saint Stadium. We're on the back of the Saint Stadium. And as it continues to go down here, and we'll check in with you in a minute. Okay guys, and as well here, you kind of see a contrast between the two sleepers that I used throughout this railway. So here we can see the wooden sleepers there. These obviously, these are the most common. These are the most common thing, and they are again in very good nick. And then over here,
these concrete ones, so shut in 1981. We've got over later, but I think that there was a plan to sort of revive this railway, and for the use of that to go in with concrete sleepers, which are more sort of...
Now these are actually commonly, or you can see them commonly throughout, as much as the wooden sleepers don't actually get used as much. See, these only really in these first few stages. This is something that you can see throughout. Right, okay, and further down, we get wooden sleepers on both sides again. And this actually merges into a point system here. And so what we can look for here is, for instance, things like the points lever, that would change the points. There is actually inscription here on the railway line. Allen Imperial Imaginese.
Any dates?
No, manganese. Allen Imperial Manganese.
Any dates on these?
No, there isn't. And again, as you can see, these lines continue to kind of merge together, and eventually they do come to one line, and that is because the Peasley Cross Road Bridge is actually only a single line bridge, which means that yeah, so there you go.
I wonder if
So that's,
these are movable.
I doubt it.
They are a bit rusted, but I reckon
that is,
actually, if you get enough people who are quite strong,
yeah,
I reckon if it's not, it might be locked though. They're locked, aren't they?
So I don't know. So yeah, that is obviously the point shifter there, and it would obviously divert the line like so. All right, guys. Okay, I'm back on the concrete sleepers here. We're actually running through, and I guess you can kind of hear the sound of cars as we enter the Peasley Cross Road Bridge. Okay, which is this here. So
this was a 2-track.
Yeah. So actually, as you can see there is a road on each side. Yeah, exactly. And for some reason, this is split here in between a line with actually wooden sleepers here.
Yeah, later in its life, basically towards the end.
And then we've got this here, which has got a weird division and actually has a bit of a manhole thing there. I don't think you can actually see it. Oh no, there you go. Yeah, with 2 cans of Budweiser. Yeah, it's very interesting. But now I believe down here is what I will call the most beautiful point of the actual track.
Yeah, I reckon this.
It does only go downhill from start.
Two-lined early in its life in the 19th century.
Mm-hmm.
Then towards the back end of the 20th, 60s, 50s, 60s, when the line was in decline from beaching and people like that, and when they turned it into a passenger line after the mines were shut, I reckon that they just transitioned it to a single line. Which from a lot of this journey is probably going to be a single line now, if there is any track left. Which is not for all of the route, but basically this was a 2-line, but I think with the modern world adapting, it's sort of changed. There's a piece of rusty, you know, a piece of track there.
Yeah, I've got some rusted strip. Interesting thing, interesting. And to enforce the whole 2-line thing, here are some 3 concrete sleepers, okay, and a few more. So obviously, here's this line here, okay, and as we come to the end here, you can see that, and then there are some concrete sleepers there, which are quite interesting.
They've taken the track quite recently, because on Google Earth it looks like it's cheaper.
And that's it, and again there are 2 more concrete sleepers there, where obviously the line would lie in the middle there, and then it would use these little twisty nut things to lock it into place. Yeah, okay, so guys, here we've gone to concrete sleepers on our single track here, and we're now just going to kind of walk a bit as well, because we've realised we've not actually done much walking and filming. Okay, so yeah, luckily people do walk this, meaning that there are a lot of, you know, space, and there we go. So hold on, if we just run ahead a bit, yeah, you can have a single line track. You are now got covered either side by an industrial estate, and yeah, it is quite interesting, and this is definitely the most beautiful part of the track. As you can see, it's literally the least overgrown. You've got so many stones here, like look, these are all like high quality stones.
It's all railway ballast.
Yeah. What?
Railway ballast.
Ballast. So yeah, these are really interesting and they're really clean, which is a beautiful thing to notice.
Not been taken up that long ago, I don't think.
No. So yeah, it is absolutely beautifully clean stones.
Maybe 50
yeah,
years since it was taken up. But it's a single track. Now, when we go on the actual walk later, there was no track.
Yeah. You will these are still laid down. Also, look, there's more traces of a second line here with sleepers, and that is indeed a line there, just being ditched in the bushes. That is indeed an old railway line, which is interesting to see. So yeah, I think we'll rejoin where these points join, because this is the most beautiful point. Yeah, no, we actually get points here leading back into one. Okay, and yeah, this is probably the most beautiful point, so we'll get it. There is two. Whatever, we'll get onto it. Right guys, okay, here on the
quite interesting.
on these point systems here, we've actually found some information engraved. And here it says that 1991
and 1989.
And then
well, that's
on the
after the railway shut.
Yeah.
So basically, 87 on there.
Yeah.
So basically, were they planning an 88 on here? Oh, actually, I don't think these are dates. Are these not? Oh no, 89. Maybe they are dates.
1989, 1990.
Oh, okay.
So it is. Yeah, it's a bit. So it is a bit strange. And are these points here newer than the actual line? After this confusion, I decided to consult some of the historians that I know in the area, and I basically found out that these are here because the line kind of stayed open after 81, or whenever it generally shut. The whole line from the St Helens to Runcorn Gap Railway, and that whole length that we'll be walking in this video, did indeed shut. However, there was a small section that continued to run throughout St Helens for a company called Hayes Chemicals, up to 2002. And that's why these dates are here, because the line did stay down for longer and was probably renovated during that period.
These dates,
yeah,
because they look like it.
Yeah.
And secondly, were they planning to reuse this line early in the 90s?
Because it's a bit strange.
Because it was shut in 81. So
yeah, it's a bit strange. Why these are actually here. But yeah, look again. It does properly split into two tracks here.
Twin.
Yeah. There we are. Right guys, here we are with the track is split into two, concrete sleepers on each side, and as you can see in the distance here, there is actually a footbridge. Now this footbridge is still cleanly open to the public, and you can very much walk over it. And I think I'll go get some shots, off from the top of there for you, so then we can actually see, what it's like. Right guys, going up here. Right, so right.
There we go.
So, again, this path is completely open to the public.
This is a public footpath to cross over the line.
Yeah, so as you can see there, and that's where we've just been walking. Yeah,
beautiful.
Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, just a literally metal thing.
Just imagine the class 121 bubble cars going up and down here.
It's absolutely mental.
In the 80s, or the class 47s with a large rake of 7 or 8 coaches.
Yeah, you could literally stand on this bridge.
Back in the 60s, when you stand the class 4s whizzing up and down here with coal loads.
So it is
all the way, all glass or something for Pilkingtons.
Is
and stuff like that.
Really interesting.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and so that's it. So this, if you live in the area, this is probably an interesting footpath to kind of join. That's Peasley Cross Road over there. That is I forgot the name.
Right. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Basically, when we get some drone shots, we'll put some drone shots in. Yeah. Put some nice music in the background probably. Do some stuff like that. And then when we get further along, when we get to Morrisons, that's a big stand point for where we get to, because it's an important part of Morrisons.
Yeah, exactly. We'll kind of explain where we are on each.
Yeah. So what we're going to start doing is stopping at each important stop.
So that's really important, including bridges as well, because you should know the roads that we're going under.
Yeah. But also we'll start stopping at every station that we can possibly get to. Yeah. Now they're not all physically able to get to. Yeah. Some of them, but some of them are, and we'll do that. We'll try our best. And then when we get to the intersection, I think that's the only bit of the line that we don't follow. Yeah. The rest of the walk off. So
it's fun.
Talk about that as well.
Also, you have a beautiful shot of Pilkingtons from up here, which is absolutely stunning. Let's go. Okay guys, back on the line. Dandelion seeds literally everywhere. That's not really relevant though. Look at that. Looks like a dodgy mist, doesn't it? Wow. So now we're literally on our stretch now, heading up to Sutton Road Bridge. So if you can see there, actually I don't think you can, but there is a bridge up there. So we'll check in once we're under that, I guess. Right guys, we're here. This is Sutton Road above us, and basically this is the bridge where I would say is the turning point of the line. Okay, essentially that is because it basically goes severely downhill. Now if we look past Ryan there, as you can see, it's literally like a wall of shrubbery. Okay, so this seeing beautiful lines and empty spaces really is a goodbye from here. This from now onwards is a bit of a mess. As you can see, there's a road bridge, or there's two road bridges above us. There's this one here, which is the concrete one, keep on moving, and then there is the bridge one, or the original one. Okay, here. Okay, so yeah. So back down. So these are real concrete sleepers. These are very much concrete, and yeah, there we are. Beautiful pattern in the bridge there. Put it that way, and a footbridge up there as well. So yeah, this is very nice. But that is where we're going now, which is going to be a bit of a shame. But
yeah, but we'll speak to you guys when we get to Morrisons.
Yes, hopefully, yeah. That is the next important stop, yeah. So yeah, and we'll talk about what we've kind of been going through or whatever. So as crossing into this. So let's go. Okay, guys. So just a bit of an update as walking through here. This is kind of the line. I mean, you've kind of just got to walk through, like, you know, clearings like this. And it just kind of.
No, this track's not in the best nick.
Yeah, it's really not. But then again, like, look at these.
I suppose they're in quite strong. That's replaced that.
Exactly.
These lots. That's probably not
so
that old.
It's really. Yeah. Basically,
they're not that old in terms of railway.
Yeah.
I mean, they're probably older than your nan, but that for railway talk isn't very old. Exactly. Because railways have been around 200 years nearly.
Now, I believe this here is St Helens Hospital. However, you can't really see any hospital, but as you can see, there's a little kind of wall there, and I believe that's like the border wall. So I'm not too sure.
Who knows?
But yeah, either way, we're going to keep on walking this now, and we'll join you when we're at the back of Morrisons. Right, guys, as promised, we are actually at Morrisons. Okay. Well, I don't know what the hell this is.
Right, this basically. Back in the height of the 40s, 50s and 60s, you'll see on your screens now that Morrisons was the main hub of all the locomotives. That's
in fact, there's a hole in the fence here, so hold on, I can actually get out here. There is Morrisons, which is indeed an ex-engine shed, as you can see. Go on.
Right, so basically, there will have been obviously sidings.
Oh, so that's the thing that I've just. That's the hole.
So basically there'll have been points going into loads of different lines to go into the shed. This is basically the point where the point system was, where the lever was to change the point.
Okay, yeah.
It's just been dug up. They were built into a sort of small, squirmy rectangle shape like that underground, and that's where the mechanicals would have been. But obviously, when all the mines and stuff and all the steam went, basically in the 60s, they'll have then just gone, you know what, stuff it, we'll get rid of it and have it as a single line through to the town centre for the main line. As a passenger route. So this is why there's quite a lot of ballast around here. There's no track. So this was an engine shed. There are lots of pictures of the engine shed with steam and everything, so try and spot some locos if you know what they are, comment below. It'd be interesting to see if you know any. I think there's quite a few standard falls.
We've literally kind of got to run parallel with it here, because obviously where the line is dreadful quality. We'll try and look out for point systems, but I don't actually believe there's any fitted.
No, I think they've ripped them up when the engine shed went.
Yeah, so I think we'll continue. We'll show you the next bridge, which I believe is going under Baxter's Lane. So yeah, we'll join you when we get there. Right, okay guys, now we're at Baxter's Lane Bridge. Okay, so this is the last one that we go under. Okay, as you can see, honestly, this bit is quite rough. I won't deny it. It's a very difficult path to take. But yeah, this is Baxter's Lane Bridge here. If we just make our way around to it. Okay. Here we go. Right, go on. There's warning bridges for warning signs for the trains. There. Warning, limited clearance is what that reads there. Some people on the footbridge there. So here we go. So this is the road bridge. We're about to go under here. Okay, like that. And then people can very much cross that road bridge or the footbridge right there. So yeah, this is very nice. Now we've still got quite a bit of thick to go, but it does get easier after this amount of thick here. However, this is probably where the line is in its worst state. Yeah. So it does end here. Obviously, you can still see the two load of lines there. So
Basically, exactly on line.
yeah, still there, but I don't know. It's a bit weird. Yeah. By the way, we're going into there. Let's hope it's all right. Right. Looking here, this is kind of where the cargo line's supposed to be in a way. It's kind of lost.
It's
now.
dead.
Yeah, it is pretty dead. We're in a nice little mossy area, and as you can hear, there is working going on there, building a housing estate.
We're not allowed to build on this.
Yeah. So this is just the rest of it. Quite a clearing for once compared to like what we've been having. This is also another section. I'm not quite sure what this was. I don't know if it was like extending chains or sidings, but this was definitely relevant. They have cleared it. I don't know why. They evidently have a purpose for it. So yeah.
What I did forget to mention is on this map that you can see now, on Google Maps, it does actually say that this line actually ends here and curves into this space and doesn't really continue where we walk, which is quite funny. I don't know why it's there. Obviously, it's funny that the line is actually still on Google Maps despite it's been derelict for quite a few years now. But obviously, it does say it ends here, which is quite strange.
Right, guys, we're here on a bridge. I'm not quite sure what this road's called, to be honest with you. But yeah, there's a wall there. Isn't really much of a wall there. But yeah, we're just gonna have to keep on moving now.
I'm the hottest human being in the world, but I'm thankful that I brought long sleeve.
I was gonna say, I think it was I don't know if we mentioned, but it is reaching about 25 degrees today in Britain, which means we are going to get very, very hot. So yeah. Currently, you know, we've just got all the stones down. Obviously, the lines have now completely disappeared, apart from the odd sleeper that may pop up. Yeah, obviously the lines have gone, but it is still in a decent quality. So yeah. So now we're actually on Elms Bridge. This one is actually massive. Like, look at that down there. That's absolutely like how big this is. We're obviously here at this side. Yeah, it's a bit mad, really. You can literally kind of see and hear the cars underneath. You can see them flash there. It's a bit weird. Don't know why this is here, like this wooden trap door, but I don't know. Here we go. We're now on quite a smooth path. I don't know why this path is so like much nicer than the rest. Like, as in, it's actually been made for us. I don't know why, but it is. And all I can say is very nice. Now this does run all the way to Robins Lane Bridge, so yeah, I guess we'll join you there. Okay guys, we are here actually at Robins Lane Bridge. This is absolutely massive one. We can't actually get onto this bridge, however, as you can see, it's all fenced off, so yeah, we can't actually get onto this. However, there's actually a hole there, which I didn't even know was there. Well, this is actually massive, because then there's all this wooden one here, and then if we walk around to this side, there is what appears to be like where more of the cargo line would actually be, because of all the stones and stuff that are down there. So yeah, however, we will have to get down, cross the road and rejoin on the other side, which is completely viable, because there is literally a path that leads off here, but there is a path down there, and there's the road. So let's go. Right guys, on the other side of Robins Lane Bridge, that's the other side.
This is lower.
Yeah. Then this one up here, we're going to go up there. But down here is basically where the the point system
Yeah, so it's
to
sort of
join onto
veered
the
off,
Lee Green Line, or the main line.
But it went onto the main line, which is the Liverpool to Manchester Railway, towards St Helens Junction. That's what's called St Helens Junction, if you ever wondered. So basically, we're going to follow the
Top line
Gap Railway in a minute. We're going to walk this sort of embankment and sort of explore that. We'll get to the intersection in a bit, and then while I get stung by nettles, Jack will.
I think. So once we're up here, which is a bit of a mess as well. However, there is a path here because this is very much publicly used by the people in this area. As you can see, this is an actual path. Obviously, it just runs to the bridge because no one can get through it. So yeah, this then runs all the way down to the intersection, which, just for the record, when we get there, and we'll talk about it a bit more, is the first place in the entire world where one railway went over another. Now, unfortunately, the bridge does no longer stand, and again, we will see that when we get there.
Quite recently, actually, and then they took it down.
So yeah, we'll see all that when we get there. Now, here is also quite important. So here is the Gap Railway where we'll be heading. It travels all the way down to Widnes and Runcorn. This one here, you can kind of see curves off. It starts here, and that goes all the way up to St Helens Junction.
But I believe that this bit here is a tunnel, because you can see that with the shape.
No, it's a bit weird this, because the tunnel evidently isn't here anymore. However, we've got these two sides here. We've got one there, and we've got one over there.
A bridge as well.
Yeah. So
I think
it looks like it must have gone through there.
Railway that went underneath.
But
possibly.
It's a bit strange because on this side here is the area known as St Anne's, and you can see the monastery here in a way. The lighting is very difficult, but you can kind of see the windows of the monastery here. Okay, which is means it's a bit strange. On the road here, so there is St Anne's Monastery. If you look here, you can see what appears to just be a bit misshapen compared to the rest of the land. And with all these bricks laying about here, it could very much be that this did indeed run underneath here, which is a bit strange. Now, the next part we'll go to is the engine sheds, which is a very interesting place indeed. So we'll cut there. Okay, guys. So here on Monastery Road, where it crosses Monastery Lane and Monastery Road, there is this bridge here. So this bridge here literally runs straight through.
This used to be housing a station under there, and then they got rid of it.
Well, no, this is there's engine sheds down here. It's quite interesting. And these here are the engine sheds. Now, with the junction line that literally runs down the back of there, these four here were all engine sheds for the cargo line or the train, anything. Obviously, they're really not in the best of nick anymore. However, they do still freestand here, which is really interesting. Yeah. So, ignoring the building work going on behind us, we're actually here at the intersection. So
basically,
so it has to see
this dirt
path, all right, and that is where the cargo line used to continue all the way down to where it crosses Reginald Road. Now, the Reginald Road bridge is no longer standing, also, meaning that there isn't really much standing around here.
Right, where this big brick is here, this is the old.
So this is kind of the route.
There. Now, you used to be able to go across it. I've seen it and been across it many times. It's no longer been here. It's been about 10 years since they got rid of it. Probably a bit longer than that. Yeah. Now, basically, this was the first ever railway over a railway. So, this was basically you have the footbridge over there as well. But this was sort of.
Okay, and with a change of angle, you can kind of see through this fence here.
I don't know whether we got any of what I was like trying to.
Basically, there you can see where the wall would have been for the first ever railway bridge to cross another railway.
But the thing is, this was the first ever railway intersection, and it crossed the first ever railway, basically. First ever mainline railway was crossed over by a railway.
Yeah, exactly.
3 years after it was built. So obviously the Liverpool to Manchester, which we are stood along here, famous for the Rainhill trials and Stevenson's rocket.
Literally ran along this line here,
Yes.
which is absolutely mental, as you can see. It runs there and that way. Yeah,
There's a train, isn't there?
No, that was it. So
okay, so it was 1829 for this railway, basically around that time. The gap was built in 1832, so not long after. Obviously, it was very different back then to what it is now and what it was when it shut. But the next leg of our journey is on tarmac because they've got rid of most of the way.
exactly. So yeah, that's it. This actually is completely disappeared now, and so yeah. As you can see, the footbridge is the only kind of remaining thing left. Right, guys. So obviously, Catherine to come off the line, across the road. We are now, we are now back here. This is the bridge that obviously doesn't really go over anything. This is like a footpath.
We removed this as well.
Yeah, obviously there has been bits removed, but yeah.
Right, we are Hawa, also known as at the start of the next leg, which is that way.
So this has all technically been turned into a footpath.
Yeah, apart from that way. But if you can actually go that way, you'll just end up falling into Reginald Road and then hurting and dying, and then a massive painful death.
They do have
That's a good idea.
Yeah, no, they do have a fence in place. However, this is just kind of the stones laid down this way.
Yes. Oh, sugar, that's my hand over there.
This is technically just a clean, smooth path all the way down to Willow Tree Primary School. Is probably the best way of describing it. So yeah, this does head all the way there in a very smooth and nice path. The roof of it has now been completed, and so now we're set to go.
Yep, so we'll also keep you updated if we come to any form of stations. I don't think there's any apart from the first one I think is Clot Face, I'm not sure. But there is sort of some farmland coming along here where you'll see some nice open stretches when eventually all of this crap's been moved. But it is actually quite nice at the minute, especially with the sun out. And we are protected from the sun at this point, we're not like getting burnt out. Yeah. But basically we're going to continue walking on the railway until we get to Runcorn Gap Station, which is interesting enough. There's a lot of history around that. But when we get there, we'll sort of keep you updated along the way and sort of keep doing a lot of stuff. Should be interesting. We've seen Jack walking along this. So you've got ballast though. I mean, I believe there was track here for quite a while, but
again, these are all still good quality stones to be fair. They're all clean. They're all
I think they've been relayed to make it a walk. I mean, look how beautiful this is.
These are also generically smaller than the ones that we've seen on the last bit of the line. Meaning that all that's really happened here is like the line's been removed, really. All that's really happened. And I think the Conference Council are planning on doing the same as this on all the stuff that we've seen. Right, okay guys, so now I'm reaching the end of the path here. And down there basically goes to, like, yeah, it is a farm. Yeah, it does run into the clock face, and I believe we'll show you the other side of the farm onto there, on Clock Face Road.
However, have to turn off the line.
Yes, we head on this little dirt trail here, and this is basically the equivalent of how to continue following it, because that way you've not got a chance, because it's not there.
I came down here in the winter, and we couldn't get past here.
Yeah. So it is a bit bad during the winter, again, because this is literally just like grass. I don't know who this belongs to or what it is, 'cause it's not really a park. I don't think the school own it.
The end of the walk, that's like
so
the exit to the walk.
It's a bit weird, but it's just kind of here. So yeah, we'll show you once we get back onto the road. Right guys, and here we are, coming up to this mini roundabout here, which is a bit weird why there is one, because there's literally nothing there. But this here is the primary school, in which you end up at. So yeah, here we go. There's a little mini roundabout. Right, okay, we're now joining Clockface Road. Okay, this is kind of, well, again, we've got sort of equivalent walk it. Because obviously the remains of where this cargo line used to cross is no longer here. Right guys, here at a little it's a corner shop here, and this is where the old point of turning is. Okay, so it's called Farm Road, okay, and this is where you want to go up here. Yeah. Okay, so here is Farm Road, and then we'll just continue walking through this little housing estate here. Okay, and then where this lamppost is, you can turn right, and that will cleanly take you into Sutton Manor Woodland, also known as the Dream. This lamppost here, we then turn up here, here's the gate, and then you're into Sutton Manor Woodland, which is very interesting, and the ex-land of Sutton Manor Colliery.
So here we cut out quite a bit of content just on the grounds of that we didn't really record much, just because we were walking through so much public territory and we thought it'd be a bit weird to be recording. So I'm just going to try and run it through in a bit on a map. As you can see here, we walked down Clockface Road and then joined in at the Dream, where the cargo line would have ran down the side of the Sutton Manor Colliery here, down kind of the east side. And that's where it would have maybe picked up coal and so on. So yeah, then it would have continued down where we're about to walk down the Sutton Farm
now
Road.
Heading pretty south of the Dream Head itself. Yeah, the Dream Head is up on that hill. However, we're just heading on this path now. It's a long path, and we'll tell you when we get there. It's the interesting bit. Okay, yeah, so we're here at the motorway. This is the end. It's like the most easterly point, I believe, of the Sutton Manor Woodland. As you can see, this I believe is the M62. This
One of them.
yeah. So yeah, and here is a beautiful little path that goes underneath the motorway. Now, what's a bit mad about this path is if you don't actually know the history of it, you might think that this path is absurd, because this goes under a motorway and 2 other roads, which is absolutely mental. So I mean, yeah, it's great that this is here, and this is literally the extensions of the cargo line. You know what I mean? This is exactly where it went, and this then travelled all the way down to the River Mersey, where we will be going at the end of this video. As you can see here, this is the Farmworth Sutton Greenway. So obviously we're in Sutton right now, and the end that it goes to is in Farmworth, which is an area in Widnes. And obviously the Widnes town centre is 4 miles, which I don't really know how to get to the town centre, but I do know how to get to Widnes waterfront, which is where we will be going, which is 4.5 miles away. So 4.5 miles this way. Let's go. Right, okay, look, as you can see guys, this is an absolutely straight path. It's unbelievable. And so yeah, it is actually stunning, and you can definitely see that the line would have ran here because of it's absolutely just so deathly straight, and it's mental. Yeah, it's great. Okay, and straight ahead here you can kind of see a bridge. This is a road bridge, and I think it's made out of sandstone. It is absolutely beautiful, and it's actually called the 5 Arches. Now, you can't actually see all 5 arches because they've all been covered and filled. I don't think intentionally, but either way, that's what's happened. It's actually a listed bridge, meaning that no one can touch it, which is very nice to know. And yeah, it is very useful. Here, there is also an information board on this, which is actually really interesting, you see. So, yeah, 1982. So
9 years old.
Yeah. So this is actually the entire thing. So this is where this is where we are now, Bold Bridge, which is what that's called. That's where we started in Sutton Manor Colliery. That's where we're going to end, and that is indeed a whole thing.
Yeah, these are sort of locos you'd have seen. So that's the rocket, obviously very
yeah
bad representation of it.
Yeah.
This is Liverpool to Manchester.
So
We saw that before.
So yeah, that is actually the
That's the intersection there,
where we were when we were on about the first ever.
And that was
bridge.
the road that goes past underneath.
Yeah.
Then these are the sort of locals that would have ran in the sort of early 1900s.
Yeah.
19th century, shall I say? Late 19th century-ish, so 1840s, 50s. Because that was 1829 for Rocket. So, and then you've got sort of, you can't see this picture enough, but we'll try and find some sort of representation.
Yeah.
Steam moving the coal. This is what the sort of the railway used to look like back in the day. That's 1962, so it was steam. That was after nationalisation, so it was the very end of steam, really. But this is sort of.
So this is a very good information board. I'm glad, obviously, it's here to teach people about what it does. There's a lot of information there about the St Helens and Runcorn Gap Railway. Okay, the lighting's got a bit worse, but this is obviously a bit closer. And if you kind of look at the brickwork above this arch, you can kind of see it replicated throughout.
Yeah,
and there were indeed 5 arches here. However, I don't believe you can walk through any of them that isn't this one. And I know the lighting is absolutely dreadful. But yeah. So yeah, this bridge was indeed bombed by a German Zeppelin. God knows why.
1918, first of all.
But it would have absolutely. It
would have been absolutely.
Oh well, actually, these are bricked in. I've just seen that arch over there is indeed bricked in, and so I presume the others are as well, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, at least one of them is still functioning. Okay, so in a minute we were going to address the fact that this actually spirals off into 2 directions. Now I don't know if you see it properly there, but there is actually a bridge, and I'll try and get it up in Google Earth in edit. But at the end of this path, you can actually see that it splits off into 2 ways, and one is the way that we're going to be going and ends up around the Rivendell Garden Centre. Obviously that's as of recording. I don't know if it will ever change in the future. I don't know the future. So yeah, and so and the other way is it splits off and goes over at Watkinson Way, which is also known as the Widnes Expressway.
Yes.
And that actually has its very own footbridge. Okay, and it leads only onto this path, and it's very cycle accessible, meaning that it doesn't actually have steps on either side, which is mental. However, we won't be going there, but hopefully you've seen it in Google Earth or something.
Also, about the Watkinson Way in Malarkey. The railway used to go there, but there's no trace of it after we finished this bit, because it's all been built upon in the last 40 odd years. So that's down to the fact that they built upon it with the Watkinson Way and stuff. So it doesn't actually trace anywhere after that until sort of Catholic Museum, basically, at Spike Island. So.
Which is mental, really. So as you'll be able to see on the map, Watkinson Way is now in presence of where this track used to go.
Appleton Station, which you'll see on the maps and stuff, is no longer there. It's a housing estate basically now, and there's no stations sort of before or after that. But it used to attach on at Widnes, and there's loads of different railways around us that, like round there, that serve Liverpool. One way over the Runcorn Bridge, that goes to like North Wales that way basically, and then comes the other way on a freight only line from the sort of dock, and it used to attach on there loads of different ways. So the railway network was busy basically. It was huge, and so it's now all gone a bit kaput since this has been gotten rid of basically. So, but yeah, we'll catch up with you when we sort of get to the next sort of level.
Yeah, we'll get on to when we get to this fork here. We'll show you really what we mean. Okay, so reaching the crossroad here, that is down to this bridge that I have just seen. You can that crosses at Watkinson Way there. It's a bit hard to see, but it is kind of there where all these trees stick out. Yeah, it's literally there. Okay, we've seen this sign here, and it says the town centre is 2.7 miles away, and the waterfront is 3.2. And we're still at 3.2 miles. I don't know how they've measured that, because I don't know if we're going on a conventional route, but whatever. And then St Helens town centre is 5.4 miles away, and we've actually walked 1.3 miles from the Dream. And then on the back here, that is the Cranshaw Bridleway, questioning access from the Greenway. And I think the bridge, I think the reason why that's cyclist friendly is because it's also horse friendly. So yeah, I guess it's onwards now. We will be leaving the Sutton Greenway very soon, and then we'll be walking through Widnes for a bit until we finally rejoin at the Mersey. So yeah, hold on, let's have a look. Here.
So this is the railway, and then bang, there's a motorway.
Yeah, so that's it. So that's where we started, all the way down here. Here is the Watkinson Way there. Here is the footpath that goes over the Watkinson Way, and then here is where we're going, where we'll be coming off, where this here is the garden centre, and we will literally just be leaving off here. So onwards, I guess. Okay, we're now reaching the end.
Well, we've already come to the end.
Well, yeah. Well, look, the Sutton Greenway will come to the end of where we last filmed that clip at the crossroads of, or like the fork, was indeed where the end of the railway following goes. However, we will rejoin it obviously further on. However, it is literally traced by a dual carriageway now, meaning that we literally cannot do anything. So now we're on Mill Lane. Widnes Waterfront is only 3 miles away, so it's 3 miles to the Mersey. Again, I don't know how they measure that. I don't know if it's how the bird flies. We're absolutely screwed.
You mean
there's the Dream, same difference. The Dream is 1.5 miles away. Town centre's 5.6, so the garden centre down there, and this is the way we're going. So good luck to us.
By this point, we were getting quite tired. I don't know if you could tell. We are panting quite a bit. This was in around like mid-20s in Britain, which is quite high for us. And so doing this much walking, because we did do more walking before what is recorded. So yeah, we were quite tired by this point, and so you can probably start hearing that in my voice. And there's no explanation why we seem so out of breath, and that will only get progressively worse coming to the end of this video, so I thought I'd address it. Yeah.
Okay, so we're now on Moorfield Road, I believe it says there.
Yeah,
I mean that we're just, well, it's, yeah, there's no signs of railway. However, just if you want to do this walk yourself, we'll just continue to track the walk of how we're doing it.
And cameras, I'm not going to be breaking any speed limits, am I?
I really don't think so. Legs and gone, happy days. So I forgot to mention what road we'd just come down, but now we're at this roundabout, which is quite important. We're at the 8 Towers pub, and in the background you can actually see the cooling towers of Fiddler's Ferry power station. Do you mind? Yeah, this is quite interesting. I think them towers are quite nice, and you can't really see them from here, but I mean, whatever. We're now going to go down there where that Widnes Waterfront sign is, and I'll keep you in touch from there. The catalyst, that's the aim.
Hey,
The aim is on the sign. Let's go. Woo! Nice.
oh, we can't be far now.
Not really. Right, we've got one more walk through industrial estates. Not like we didn't do that in the first half.
We may well be entering parts of the original railway sign.
Yes, yeah, so realistically, yeah, this is around where it is, because the swing bridge that we're going to find, or that we're going to cross last, that you'll see later, is indeed the one from the track, and you have seen that picture. So, yeah, let's go.
Okay, so I'm quickly going to brief kind of where we just walked. So I'll get the map up now, and we would have started here at this roundabout, and we would have walked down this road, then this road, then this road, then we would have ended up at the 8 Towers pub, then we've crossed the roundabout like you would have seen in that clip, and then
we're now here
down this
at the
industrial
last
estate.
stretch
So,
of corner. Okay, now, so as much as we're happy to see this, because quite frankly it's out of us a bit, this is also quite important, because this is probably where the line came down. Okay, So
we later have reason to believe that this kind of isn't where the line goes. So
the likelihood
kind
of
of
it
just
running
ignore
down here.
what I'm saying here.
Okay. Down this Moss Bank Road here, and then it'd run down here to where we are now walking. Okay. This is to where a live railway still stands, and it's actually a live cargo line that goes from Warrington, I believe it is, all the way to Manchester. All goes from Warrington all the way to Liverpool. So here we go. We'll join back at the
Railway.
the railway gate. Okay, we're here and we're about to walk on our second railway line. This one is operational, however.
There's no red light.
Yeah, as you can see, the green light is on, and as you'll see when we get close to it, it says clear, and then it's the swing bridge. So yeah, we'll approach it. You can look down the railway line, and then we're good. So let's have a look at this. Come on, here we go. Green light, clear. Look at this. No, but we are on another railway line. Look at this. Another railway line, another load of iron sleepers, which you didn't really get, and concrete ones there. Yeah, this is actually another cargo line, so which is really interesting.
It's
so,
for Warrington and everything. Oh my god, this is the swing bridge.
yeah, and this is the swing bridge. So
Another one with the catalyst though, is it?
yes,
There's one further up.
no, there's not. This is it. Okay guys, so we're there at the swing bridge. I'll get a photo in a minute to compare it with the one that we've got from the old ones. Down there is the flower, I forgot what it's called, future flower on the Widnes estuary. Yeah, and then this way is the catalyst where we'll be heading to finish it, as that is the last stop of the cargo line.
So I believed that the two swing bridges that are going to be on screen were the same swing bridge, and now we believe that they're not, and you'll see where we think that black and white swing bridge is in a minute.
Basically, we have now reached Spike Island, and we've realised that the swing bridge that we were at isn't actually the cargo line swing bridge, and that this is it here. So now, this did used to be a footbridge up to quite recently, however now they have fenced it off, and as you can see it would have had the swing mechanism in there, and it would have swung across here. Yeah, it would have swung across to here, and then would have swung itself back into there, meaning that the cargo line would have come in from over there somewhere, which hopefully we'll be able to see if we line it up on a map. We're now following the path around the edge of Spike Island. There is the River Mersey and the kind of floodable estuary, I believe you can call it. And this will run all the way down here. The kilns,
basically, what we're walking on now is an actual bit of the railway line, because it ran all the way around the outside, loads of different sidings, so this whole entire area was taken up by the actual line itself and everything that it serves, so the coal, the station itself, which was just after the swing bridge, in fact, just around the corner, and then this whole entire area. So when we get to the lock, that will be officially the end of our journey along the St Helens to Runcorn Gap Railway, which is where we will end. But until then, we'll see some more photos and stuff of the actual railway. And when first, I think it probably went up there.
Yes.
This is the sort of area. Basically, it was busy back in the 60s when it was actually using for its purpose a coal thing.
Okay, following Spike Island now, it is very busy around here, so I don't think we'll be doing many videos. However, we will record walking across the lock where it did indeed finish. There is the Catalyst Museum in the background, which is like a replacement.
My ears
It's
my eyes,
and it's not. It's actually a replacement to the to the stations or whatever, I believe, and would function into getting out to the Mersey. So Yeah.
So basically all of this area where we are, this middle bit here, this bit of water was actually there.
Yes.
And they had a little bridge over this as well,
Yeah.
which is crazy. So basically it curved round and went alongside here where this bit of path is there.
So basically every path here on Spike Island is essentially,
It never went across the logs, it never went across that side, it will never stayed this side.
As you can see, there's a little bit that dips in here at the Mersey, and that doesn't need flow.
Yeah, this was actually served, this went through, and this was sort of a bridge over.
So we're going up to the locks now as well. Right guys, we have finished. We're now here. We're at the Catholic Museum. We have actually finished it. Now I'll try and tell you all the information about what we've done, how long it is. For all the people who go, it's about 24,000 steps is what we've done today, which is a lot. But no, me and Ryan are both very tired. Yeah, my feet are definitely sore. But overall, I can tell you how, obviously, when it was on the steps, you should have been able to see, how long we did as well. I can calculate that.
But the thing is, our length is different because we keep stopping all
exactly.
the time
So
to do videos.
I can just average it off Google Earth. But yeah, that's it. So we've done it, and this was indeed the St Helens to Runcorn Gap Railway. I hope you did enjoy, and we'll catch you all in another one. Goodbye.